So let's move on from there. Diane, if society's being attacked here in UK, of course, children are always at the forefront, and you are still on the trail of what's being presented to children.
Yes, thanks, Brian. It's great to be here today. Hello, everyone. I received a lot of response last week to the segment that I did that included the book Granddad's Pride. So I decided to go back and do a little bit more coverage on this book as well as the author that wrote it. So if you haven't seen it from last week's news, I talked about this book called Granddad's Pride, which showed Granddad and the grandchild there taking a trip to, I think, organizing a pride parade and attending and having a wonderful, diverse, and inclusive time. So I looked at a little bit more of the things that have been discussed around Granddad's Pride because it's been such a major thing in social media for the past couple of years. So here's a book review about Granddad's Pride by someone who loved it a lot.
Is Pride Month. So for today's magic bookmark, we are diving into the perfect picture book to celebrate Pride Month with. It is Granddad's Pride by Harry Woodgate.
Take a look inside a book, there's stories to explore. They'll let you see who you could be and teach you so much more. They'll take you on a journey, it's gonna light a spark. Let's turn the page with the magic bookmark. Be who you are, it's the magic bookmark.
Granddad's Pride is the follow-up to Harry's first picture book, Granddad's Camper. And in this one, Millie, the granddaughter, discovers a pride flag in Granddad's attic and wants to know what it's all about. And eventually, she ends up organizing a pride in their local village. And, it will just make you feel so wonderful because Harry demonstrates that Pride is about being inclusive of everyone who's LGBTQIA+, but it's also about bringing communities together. As with all of Harry's book, the pictures are absolutely incredible, but I especially love these. And then there's some amazing signs. We've got this one, queer, disabled, fabulous, and out and proud. Trans kids are magic, but this is the image that really has struck with me because it's someone who has the scars of their top surgery, and that's such a wonderful and simple thing to put in a picture book, but that is going to make people feel so included and loved. So go and celebrate your Pride Month with Granddad's Pride by Harry Woodgate.
So, clearly meant for children, clearly quite intense. So I went back to look at Granddad's Camper, and I have bought a copy of that as well. So maybe we can look at the book itself a little bit more in extra. But let's just take a look at the cover of it now. Basically, this is the first book of this author, Harry Woodgate, which I'm going to talk about here just a bit. This book is about Millie, the granddaughter, again, and Granddad. And Granddad is sad because Gramps is no longer around. I don't know if he passed away. I don't know if they broke up. But anyway, Gramps is sad away. Granddad is sad. Everyone is sad. But then Millie is able to cheer everyone up because Granddad and Millie decide to go in a so-called adventure in Granddad's camper. So after they fix up the camper, they decided that they were going to go out and enjoy the camper. And then the book ends by saying, from Granddad, quote, "Your Gramps would be so happy to see this. It's what he would have wanted. I think we should pack some snacks and hot chocolate and we can go and camp on the beach just like we used to." So then Granddad was cheered up. Great for Granddad. So it's all a wonderful ending. We don't really know what happens. We might not want to know what happens. But anyways, we hear that there is some sort of an adventure and the book ends there. And then we proceed to the next one, which is Granddad's Pride. So I looked a little bit more into this author, Harry Woodgate. So this is what the screenshot from Waterstone has about Harry Woodgate. It's quite a bit of information on him on his website as well. Oh, sorry, Harry Woodgate's pronouns are they, them. Sorry for misgendering Harry. His picture book, his debut book was Granddad's Camper, which I just showed you, which won the Best Illustrated Book at Waterstone's Children's Book Prize 2022. Followed by Children's Illustrated Book of the Year at the British Book Awards in 2023. It received notably a Stonewall Book Award honor from the American Library Association. and was nominated for the SILIP, so my former Library Professional Association's Greenway Medal for Illustration. Also, he's won other awards from the Week Junior Book Awards, Little Rebels Prize, Diverse Book Awards, etc. This is another book that he illustrated called Queer and Fearless, Poems Celebrating the Lives of LGBTQ plus heroes. So Harry was an illustrator of this book. We also have a little bit, there's Harry, they themselves on Harry's website. And we also, I believe, have a video of Harry talking about the university that Harry attended, the University of Hertfordshire, talking about how inclusive and equitable it was to attend the university. So let's hear what Harry had to say.
When I was at the university, I really found it to be a really sort of inclusive, open space, especially like going to the LGBT society. So it was really important for me to include like LGBT representation in the books I write for kids, because it's a normal part of life.
So we see this, and it's very obviously difficult to watch. It's difficult for me to talk about. So let's talk a little bit about what we can do. What can we put in front of children? This was surprisingly an article from The Telegraph that was quite good, that I want to thank the viewer who sent this to me a few days ago. And the viewer said to me, why can't children read the books that are listed on this article instead of the books that I report on? This is called the 50 Best Children's Books of All Time. It actually does have some good books from the past and from the present that don't contain this kind of sexualization of children ideology that we don't want children to be seeing, obviously. Also, there's another book that I want to talk about by an author that I met at the Wilsingham show over the weekend, and I'll be talking about the show later on in the news. This book is called Noah's Rocket, and it's actually a really fun book to read by the author called Tony Frace. I met him, and he had a stand at the show. Tony did not know anything about the ideology that is being presented to children because he's a self-published author. This book was written in 2004 that I'm talking about here. So this was before this was being put in front of children with all of the ideology and the content that we don't want them to see, because 20 years ago, this was just not a thing in libraries the way it is now. But he also said as well that this book is particularly good for children with autism and special needs, which is not something that he planned. I just thought it was interesting to note this because we've obviously done some work with autism, highlighting the difficulties that children have and parents have who are living with autism. But he had some testimonials from parents and carers who take care of children who have these special needs, as well as a book review by someone from the Leeds Autism Service who said that it was particularly good. So it was easy to read. The chapters were broken down nicely, big font size. The story is very positive. The message is very positive that there are good people left in the world. And I read it yesterday morning and enjoyed it very much, maybe on an adult level. But I would say that it's very enjoyable for both children and adults. So I would highly recommend checking this one out for everyone who's looking for something good to read.
Diane, thank you very much for that. And yes, this is a good message, isn't it? If we know about good books for children, these are the ones to be promoting, giving as gifts and encouraging proper material to go into the minds of young children. Your report there clearly having an effect on at least some of our audience who, I've got to say, were appalled that this stuff is being pushed forward for children. But this is without doubt a deliberate attack. Now, let's move on to the nicer things in life, and a huge thank you to everybody who's supporting the UK column. We also want to encourage people who may be watching us but haven't become a member of the UK column to support us. If you visit the website, and you can click the button to support UK column work with a membership or a donation, and we'd be very grateful if you would do that. Now, a huge, huge thank you to everybody who has bought a ticket for UK on Location for the 18th of October. Excuse me, I have to say that we only have, I think this should appear, there we are, we just have 18 tickets remaining. So this is absolutely fantastic, and a huge thank you to people who bought a ticket over the last few days after my last request for people to come on board so that we can start this wonderful event with a completely full house. If you're not able to go, you can still buy a ticket for the online, and we will be very, very sure to be speaking to everybody, whether you're present in the room or you're with us via remote link. So really great event, and we're going to look forward to seeing everybody there. If you haven't got a ticket, opportunity to buy one. Now let's move on, and Diane, you've got an interview here with an ordinary man who extraordinarily questioned the COVID injections. Sorry, struggling there a bit.
Yeah. He calls himself an ordinary man, but I really don't believe that he is. His name is Tim Coulter, and he is a member of the Stand in the Park group that I am a member of here in the northeast of England. He's a retired architect. He took action against the COVID injections. He's quite a humorous and well-informed man. We did this interview at his home in a beautiful village in Northumberland, as you can see, overlooking a beautiful naturescape that he lives in. And so we recorded this obviously on location at his home. And I would just like to thank We the People Northeast for filming this for us. Please join us tomorrow. There's a lot of special surprises in the interview. So please join me and enjoy Tim tomorrow at 1:00.
Brilliant, Diane. Now, you've also got some articles highlighted from the UK Column website.
Yes, this one in particular I want to talk about. This is by Hugh McCarthy, who's the retired head teacher who does a lot of writing for us from Northern Ireland. And this one was published the week before last. But if we can go to the next slide, we'll see here that there's a bit of a testimonial from Tess Laurie, who is going to be obviously one of our speakers in York. And she said, I highly recommend this reflective article, as well as the links to UK Column news in this article by retired headmaster Hugh McCarthy. In my opinion, UK Column is currently the best media organization reporting on the UK. If you have finally had enough of the BBC and want a trustworthy source of British news, I highly recommend UK Column. So I hope that everyone can join us in York and thank Tess for her review of Hugh and of UK Column. And I have some breaking news as well. I just want to add in quickly from Hugh, who emailed me this morning to say that in Stormont, in Northern Ireland, they have reported that Paul Given, who's the education minister in Northern Ireland, has recommended that the education authority should immediately withdraw its current transgender guidance to schools based on the Supreme Court ruling that we had earlier this year. And I want to say that Hugh has done an amazing job of working to alert Stormont as to what's been going on related to the Supreme Court hearing, and that our articles and our publication of his articles have made apparently a big difference in making this happen in Northern Ireland. So a huge congratulations to Hugh and those who have been working with him. I think it's a wonderful news for Northern Ireland.
Right, okay. We've also got a food and health festival here, Diane.
Yes, this is taking place on the 28th of September up in Edinburgh. I hope everyone can join us. The tickets are free. There'll be a range of suppliers and talks. A major highlight, I believe, as well, is that I will be there as a member of Common Knowledge Edinburgh, which is organizing this event, but also Charles Mallett will be coming to speak to us at the festival. So please join us again. Tickets are free and still available.
Excellent. And lastly, our old friend UNESCO.
Well, last week was a big week for UNESCO. They had a Digital Learning Week in Paris. And I'm just starting to get into the videos and the content and the hundreds of pages of policies and reports they have published in relation to this. And mostly it's about AI and the future of education and questioning the role of human teachers in this day and age. So next week, I expect to have a more full report on the event.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Thank you